Trying to decode Oldman's relationship timeline is trickier than trying to solve a crime. With 2 high-profile relationships, 1 engagement, 5 marriages, and 4 divorces, your head will be spinning. Oldman seems very determined to not give up on love, and we have put together his entire relationship timeline with all the scandals you can imagine. Gary's first well-known romance in Hollywood was with actress Leslie Manville. The pair met during a play at London's Royal Court Theatre and married in 1987.
I kind of tried not to be too prescriptive with myself about it, and allowed each moment, you know, the gravity of each moment and the depth of each moment to, you know, take me somewhere.
They had a son together, Alfie, but in 1989 the actor made a drastic decision, moving to America to pursue his dreams. It seems like Hollywood was calling his name, and Gary, wanting to develop his career, chose to leave his wife and 3-month-old son. He could have taken his family with him though, right? The couple's divorce was quick and was finalized in 1990. Before his divorce was finalized, he began dating Uma Thurman not long after he had abandoned his wife and baby.
I was blindsided. I never saw that one coming.
There are many rumors surrounding the actor's introduction. Allegedly, Sean Penn introduced Thurman to Oldman while the men were shooting State of Grace in 1989. Apparently, Thurman was dating the director of the film when she met Oldman on set, but there doesn't appear to be much backing for either of these theories. But in 2014, the State of Grace director cleared it all up and said that Gary and Uma were dating while they were filming State of Grace, and got married right after the movie wrapped. Either way you look at it, there was a crossover between Gary's marriage with Leslie and his relationship with Uma. Thurman said they met in England when she was 18, which means they met in 1988 or early 1989, while he was still married. Could that be the real reason he left Leslie and his son? Despite there being a 12-year age gap, Oldman and Thurman tied the knot in 1990, just a little over a year of dating. 2 years of marriage was all it took for this couple to fall apart when she apparently dumped him via a Dear Gary letter, saying he was impossible to live with. Her final straw with the actor was after an incident where he was arrested for drunken driving. She later said that it takes a special kind of woman to put up with him. Ouch. Oldman has been known to be overly forthcoming in interviews. He joked about his one marriage that lasted for 10 minutes, which was likely alluding to the actress and the shortest of all his marriages. He spoke on the divorce and responded to Thurman's thoughts on living with him, confirming that it was no picnic living with her either, but for very different reasons. You try living with an angel. I don't think the relationship meant very much to either of us. In typical Gary fashion, it didn't take long for him to move on to his next relationship. He met Isabella Rossellini during the filming of Immortal Beloved in 1993, and in just a few weeks came talk of marriage. By the end of that year, they were engaged. But his drinking continued to spiral out of control, and it included a 70-day bender where his tongue even turned black. Isabella gave him an ultimatum, which was either rehab or there would be no marriage. Oldman eventually managed to get sober and admitted it was one of the hardest things he had ever done, but the marriage to Isabella never happened. The pair split in 1996, but he refused to give up on love once again. During the split with Rossellini, he moved on to his third marriage and possibly his most tumultuous with photographer Donia Fiorentino. The pair quickly fell for one another after meeting at an Alcoholics Anonymous gathering in 1996. Within 5 months of meeting, they were married, and Donia was pregnant with their first son, Gulliver. 2 years later, they had their second son, Charlie. But in 2001, Gary was facing divorce number 3. Their 4-year marriage was blighted by addiction and alleged abuse. Donia claimed in legal papers at the time that Oldman hit her with a phone while she held their youngest son. She also said he blew money on hookers and drugs. Oldman vehemently denied the claims and said her addiction made her an unfit mother. The judge awarded custody of their sons to Oldman. This is also what happened with Donia's daughter from her first marriage to David Fincher. Gary took a break from acting to raise his sons as a single father. He started taking roles purely for money to support his family.
It seems to be my process. I turn most roles down, and then they kind of wash back up on the shore. They go away, and then they come back.
He even told his manager, "I'd like to do the least amount of work for the most money." This is how the actor came to star in Harry Potter and the Dark Knight trilogy. Donia spoke out in the wake of the Me Too movement and said, "I feel as though he stole my children and destroyed my life." She also claimed he excluded her from their children's lives, and her 2 grown sons barely speak to her now. For years, he avoided serious romantic liaisons for the sake of his sons. But in 2008 came Mrs. Oldman number 4. He married Alexandra Edinburgh, an accomplished vocalist, cellist, and songwriter. Alexandra was 20 years younger than Gary. At the time, the actor said, "I'm not proud this is my 4th marriage, but this is a good one. Hopefully my last one." Sadly, she filed for divorce in 2015, and Gary cited the age difference as the cause of the separation without further details. The then 59-year-old actor was still determined to find love no matter his age. And what do you know? Just 2 years after his 4th divorce, he married Giselle Schmidt. The writer and the actor married in a low-key ceremony at the home of Gary's manager, Douglas Urbanski. After several years of being together and discussing it, the actor decided to pop the question. And as Oldman revealed, he did it while in character as the former English Prime Minister, Sir Winston Churchill. He was filming Darkest Hour when he proposed to Schmidt on the film set.
There was a break in the filming, and we had talked about it, and I just felt the urge.
The actor explained how it happened by saying, "We were down in the war rooms, and I took her into the map room. And as Winston Churchill, I said, 'Will you marry me?' The Oscar winner disclosed that she joked about the incident, saying she went to bed with Winston Churchill but woke up with Gary Oldman." Very little is known about the life of Schmidt, who, before Oldman, was married for 20 years and had a son named William. The actor has also led his love life quite discreetly, despite various marriages and divorces. Oldman has said about Schmidt's previous marriage, "Her ex, they were together 20 years, and they have a 9-year-old son. He's a great guy. He was at our wedding. We're all very friendly. He even said, 'We should have been friends. I wasn't Mr. Right, but we're great buddies.'" The couple lives with her and Oldman's sons in Los Angeles. He now shuns the red carpet and is rarely seen at parties. Could marriage number 5 be Gary Oldman's last? It appears that he has found the one woman that he could possibly spend his life with. He spoke about his 5th marriage and his thoughts about why it is different from his others by saying, "I don't think men really know what they're up to until they're 40. Looking for love later in life is about being receptive to a different type of love." Let us know what you think of the actor's 5 ex-wives in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity stories. Be well and be kind.